So hey there everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to make the best homemade ice cream you have ever had. I'm going to teach you my recipe for espresso ice cream and peanut butter brownie, but I'm going to show you how to make just the classic vanilla ice cream base that you can use to make any ice cream flavor that you can imagine. Oreo, strawberry, birthday cake, s'mores, toffee. You can just do basic vanilla, butter pecan. The possibilities are endless. And this is all possible because I have the KitchenAid ice cream maker attachment. So this little goodie is an attachment to your KitchenAid stand mixer. It will also fit on a tilt head mixer. It just won't fit on the mini versions of the KitchenAid. And it comes with this large ice cream mixing bowl. And listen, sounds like it's full of water, and it actually is. So you put this in your freezer, it gets totally frozen, and then it's ready to churn your ice cream. And to make it fit your KitchenAid stand mixer, it comes with these two little attachment pieces. They just pop right onto your stand mixer, and it drops right down into this ice cream mixing bowl and churns your ice cream. So if you've been around on my channel for a while, you know that I used to own an ice cream shop for 7 years. So I know ice cream, and I have perfected the ice cream base. I love a rich, thick, custardy style base, and I also enjoy bits and bites of whatever the flavor is in my ice cream. So today I'm going to show you how to make espresso ice cream and peanut butter brownie. So now in the video I'm going to take you back to when I was making espresso ice cream last week. Then when that's finished, we're going to do it all over again with a little bit of variation. We're going to make peanut butter brownie ice cream. So here we go. Today I'm making espresso ice cream. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. It is super easy. It does, however, take a little bit of time, only because you have to plan ahead. This ice cream maker attachment stays in your freezer. It is completely frozen and hard on the inside. We're going to make our homemade ice cream, the base for it, and then it has to go in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. We're going to pour that chilled ice cream base into the ice cream maker, and it's going to churn for about 15-20 minutes. You can actually eat it at that point. It's going to be sort of a soft serve consistency, or you can pop it back in your freezer and let it harden up for an hour or two, or even days and weeks, and then you're good to go. So before we get started on the actual making of the ice cream, let me show you some things that you absolutely need. Obviously, you have to have the KitchenAid ice cream maker attachment. You need your KitchenAid stand or tilt head mixer, and I highly recommend that you have a double-walled insulated ice cream tub. This one is my favorite. It's available on Amazon, and the reason you want a double insulated tub, actually, a couple of reasons. This will perfectly hold one recipe of ice cream that we're going to make. And if you put your ice cream into a ceramic or glass bowl and put it in the freezer, as soon as you get it out to scoop your ice cream, that ceramic bowl is going to start to sweat and your ice cream is going to melt really fast. This keeps your ice cream frozen. It does not sweat on your countertop. It's this cute little size, and it's deep enough that I can use my favorite ice cream scoop to scoop out perfectly formed scoops of ice cream. So everything I'm going to use today will be linked down in the description box. But now it's time to get to our ice cream recipe. But to make espresso ice cream, you need a couple of extra things. You need a small bottle of Kahlua and espresso powder, instant espresso powder. These are the keys to a delicious espresso ice cream. Just trust me on this. Now you can leave out the Kahlua if you want to. We're only going to use 2 tablespoons in the whole batch of ice cream, so it's not a ton. Leave it out if you want to. I just think it makes the ice cream fantastic. And I love some kind of texture or crunch or cake or cookie or something in my ice cream. And for what we're going to make today, the espresso ice cream, I have bought a trail mix where everything is chocolate or covered in some form of espresso. So at my local grocery store, I have this dark chocolate espresso trail mix from Better Goods. This is great. You can use chocolate covered espresso beans, really anything that suits your fancy. So to get started, I have a heavy bottom saucepan, and I'm going to put this over medium heat and pour in 1 1/4 cups of half and half cream. And I'm going to let this heat until small bubbles start to form around the edge of the pan. Do not boil it. You do not want to overheat your cream. In the meantime, while that's heating up, I've got my KitchenAid stand mixer ready. I have the paddle attachment on, and I'm going to get some ingredients going in the bowl. So I need 5 egg yolks that I've already separated, a dash of regular table salt, just a dash, and 2/3 of a cup of white granulated sugar. I'm going to turn this on low speed and let it mix until everything is combined and the mixture starts to get thickened. In the meantime, you can see that I'm starting to get steam coming off the pot with the half and half. I just want to keep it moving so it doesn't scald. I certainly don't want to boil it. I'm just looking for those bubbles. I know they're going to happen any minute because I can clearly see the steam coming off my half and half. Basically, all we're doing by heating this up, when we incorporate it in with our egg and sugar mixture, is going to melt the sugar, and then we're going to bring it back over here and continue to cook it. So you can see I am starting to get little bubbles around the outside of my pan. Clearly this is hot because there's steam coming off, so turn off the heat. And with your electric mixer on very low speed, I'm going to slowly add the half and half cream into this mixture and just let it go on slow until it's fully combined. That's all we want to do is combine it. We're going to reuse this original saucepan. So if you have any residue left over from the half and half cream, just simply take a paper towel. You can gently wipe it out. It's no big deal if you don't get it all out. Just wipe it out the best you can. Turn this back on a medium heat and pour your egg and cream mixture back into the saucepan. And we're basically going to repeat what we just did. We're going to bring this back up to a warmness. You're going to see steam come off, and when we see bubbles around the edge of the pan, we're done. Make sure when you're getting this warm, you're just constantly moving it. You don't want to scald it. So just slowly stir. And it won't take long because our mixture was already pretty warm. So we're starting to get steam coming off of the pan, and it is starting to thicken up just slightly. So I'm going to keep moving it around. I'm looking for those bubbles. So this is your consistency, thick. The minute I saw that very first bubble, I stopped and turned off the heat. So now I'm going to pour this mixture into a large mixing bowl. And I'm going to add my other ingredients. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of a really good vanilla extract, 2.5 tablespoons of instant espresso powder, give that a good stir, 2 tablespoons of Kahlua, I'm going to take a whisk and make sure that all my espresso powder is incorporated. Don't want any chunks. Then I'm going to add 1¼ cup of heavy whipping cream. And stir to incorporate. Now I'm going to cover my bowl with a piece of aluminum foil and pop it in the refrigerator for about 2 hours until it is completely chilled. So while my ice cream mixture is in the refrigerator for 2 hours or until it is completely chilled, I'm going to clean up the kitchen, but I'm going to do one more thing first. I'm going to take my espresso trail mix or whatever ingredient I'm using. I need about a half a cup of this. I'm going to put it in a Ziploc baggie and just use a meat mallet and lightly break it up until it's little teeny pieces, the size that you would like in your ice cream. So regardless of what ice cream flavor you're making, you want to have your ingredients already prepped, because when we go to put this in the ice cream maker, it happens pretty quickly. So be ready. So if you're not making espresso ice cream, the ice cream base, the flavor that I just made for you, is going to be exactly the same, except for you're not going to put ground espresso in the ice cream base. You can leave the Kahlua, you can take out the Kahlua, it's totally up to you. But let's just say, for example, you wanted to make Reese's peanut butter ice cream. Leave out the ground espresso, obviously. You've got your vanilla ice cream base, and then once your ice cream is churning, that's when you're going to add all of your goodies. If you're making strawberry ice cream, you've got your base, you're going to add your chopped up strawberries while the ice cream is churning. So we haven't even got to that part of making the ice cream yet. That is yet to come. Alrighty, it is time to make ice cream. So my KitchenAid ice cream maker attachment has been in the freezer. It is fully frozen. I'm going to set that on, pop it in. That sits down right on it. My ice cream batter has been in the refrigerator actually overnight. I decided to make this the next day. So I want to turn my KitchenAid mixer on the very slowest setting and slowly pour in my ice cream batter. Make sure that your mixer is on before you put the batter in. If you don't do that, the batter is going to start to freeze immediately and it's probably going to make a mess. So slow speed, and here we go. Make sure to add any crumbles into your churning ice cream about 8 or 9 minutes in before it gets too thick and puffed up. Otherwise, it is really hard for the ice cream to incorporate the crumbles into the batter, so you want to do that earlier rather than later. So my ice cream's been churning about 12 minutes. You can see it's starting to get really thick and kind of overtake the bowl. So I want to stop right here and pour it into my insulated ice cream tub. Make sure to scrape all that off the churner. And it's like a soft serve consistency at this point, and that's perfectly fine. So into the tub it goes. And I made sure to reserve a little bit of my crumbles that I'm going to put on top here so it looks super pretty. Ooh, smells good too. I'm going to seal this up tight and pop it in the freezer for a couple of hours, and then it will be perfectly scoopable. Look at this delicious espresso ice cream. Creamy, milky, chunky, so absolutely delicious. Take my ice cream scoop, and oh my goodness, that first scoop is so satisfying. And we were eating it in a dish tonight. We also love to put it in an ice cream cone, but this espresso ice cream will change your life. It is so good. If you're a coffee lover, do this. So now let's make peanut butter brownie ice cream. It's basically the same process. We're just going to leave out the Kahlua and the espresso powder. So I'm adding 1 1/4 cups of half and half cream into my heavy bottom saucepan, and I'm going to start to warm that up. In the meantime, into my regular mixing bowl, I'm adding the sugar and 5 egg yolks. separate them in advance, it goes a lot faster, but this is all that you're doing, putting it in the regular KitchenAid bowl with the blade attachment. Turn it on low and just let it blend until everything starts to get mixed well and thicken just a smidge. Once your cream on the stovetop is getting warm, you can see the steam and you see little bubbles around the edge. You want to very, very slowly, and I mean very slowly, incorporate that into your egg mixture, which is still mixing on a very slow speed. If you dump all of this warm milk or warm cream into the egg mixture at once, there's a good chance that you might kind of cook that egg, and then you're going to have scrambled eggs. That's why you want to slowly incorporate it. Once it's mixed, you're going to pour that mixture back into your warm saucepan and heat it over a medium-low heat. Again, until you start to see some steam and small bubbles form around the outside. You want to keep this moving with a silicone spoon or wooden spoon. Do not let it boil. It will ruin your ice cream. Once you see those small bubbles or a lot of steam, turn off the heat. Pour it into a large mixing bowl, and then you're going to add in 1¼ cups of heavy whipping cream. And I just kind of like to do this slowly, mixing and incorporating at the same time. Then add in 2 teaspoons of a really good vanilla, a dash of salt, just a little pinch, just regular table salt, and give that a really good stir. Make sure that you don't have any lumps or bumps, and then cover that with tin foil or saran wrap and put it into your refrigerator for a minimum of 2 hours or until it is completely chilled. You can even leave it in there overnight and make your ice cream the next day. It's totally fine to do that. So when you're ready to churn your ice cream, put the KitchenAid ice cream maker attachment onto the base of your stand mixer, and then you just simply drop in that mixing attachment. It quickly attaches. And this is key. You want your mixer to be on a very low speed before you slowly start to pour in your chilled ice cream mix. If you don't have the mixer going before you start to pour in that liquid ice cream, it is going to freeze as soon as it hits that bowl, and then you are gonna have a mess. So turn it on slow and just slowly pour that ice cream in there. Let it churn, let it do its thing till about the 8-minute point. And while it's churning, you have time to get together your brownies and your peanut butter. I love natural peanut butter. I think this is the best thing to put in ice cream. I like to put my peanut butter in the microwave for about 15 to 20 seconds just to kind of liquefy it just a little bit, make it stirrable. It's much easier to deal with when you can pour the peanut butter into the ice cream and not have to deal with, you know, thick, chunky peanut butter. I tried to put my peanut butter in a squeeze bottle because in my mind I thought that was going to be the easiest way to go about this. And it was a fantastic idea, but it turns out I didn't need the squeeze lid on the squeeze bottle. I just needed something that I could pour easily. So use whatever you have, whatever you think would be good. So about 8 minutes into the churning process, when you can tell your ice cream is starting to get thick, you want to squeeze in a little bit of peanut butter because you want peanut butter flavored ice cream, not just peanut butter in the ice cream. And then you want to take your brownie that's been crumbled up and just start to incorporate some little chunks of that brownie into your churning ice cream. Just a little bit. We're going to layer it up later, but we certainly want to incorporate these ingredients into the ice cream itself. And once your ice cream is fully churned, it's grown, it's starting to take over your bowl, remove the ice cream bowl from the mixer and take out the churning wheel. Scrape any of that ice cream off because you do not want to give up any of that goodness. This stuff is so good you are not going to believe it. Then put half of your ice cream into your insulated tub. Use a spoon, use a scraper, whatever works best for you. You can pour it if you want to. I find it's easiest to just do it with the big spoon. But put half of your ice cream into the tub. Then you want to drizzle a little bit more of your melted peanut butter and add some more of your crumbled brownie pieces onto the ice cream. and then top it with the rest of the ice cream and kind of smooth off the top once you have all your ice cream in there, and do the same exact thing again. Drizzle it with a little bit of your melted peanut butter and top it with crumbled pieces of brownie. Doesn't that look delicious? I think peanut butter brownie ice cream is one of my all-time favorite flavors. So you can absolutely eat it at this point. It is going to be a soft serve ice cream consistency. I like to put it in my freezer for a couple hours, so snap the lid on really good, put it in your freezer. I recommend having it in the freezer for about 2 to 4, possibly 5 hours so that it is scoopable, but any length of time is perfect. You are going to love this peanut butter brownie ice cream. So now that you know how to make your ice cream base, let me give you a couple little tidbits. You can use the Kahlua in any base. You don't have to just reserve it for the espresso. It is really fantastic in the espresso though, but it would be super good in lots of other flavors. You can absolutely leave it out if you want to. So let's talk about the salt. If you notice in the 2 recipes I made, I added the salt at 2 different times in the recipe. It actually doesn't matter when you do it, but if you're a stickler for following the recipe, it should honestly be added at the very last step when you have your liquid ice cream after it's been heated and you put it in the mixing bowl. When you're adding your vanilla, that's when you should technically add your salt. So when exactly is the best time to add your chopped up ingredients to your churning ice cream? I like to keep a watch on it at about the 8-minute point. That's when I like to add it. You can see when I did the peanut butter brownie, I let it go a little bit too far because the thicker the ice cream is, the more difficult it is for it to churn in the ingredients you're adding. So you want to check it at about the 8-minute point. It's starting to get thick, but kind of really soft, and you can see the ice cream moving around. That's the best time to add your solid ingredients, or if you're going to put in any kind of peanut butter or syrup. So let's talk about other flavors that you could make with this vanilla ice cream base. Butter pecan. Buy a jar of butterscotch at the grocery store, chop up some pecans, and just like I did with the peanut butter brownie, put a little bit of that butterscotch into the churning ice cream so that you have the butterscotch flavor in the ice cream itself. Then add your pecans and let it churn for a second, and then you could do another drizzle layer of those ingredients when you're putting your ice cream in your tub. I personally cannot wait to make homemade strawberry ice cream when the strawberries are fresh and local here where I live this summer. So my advice to you, and I know this first-hand experience because this is what we used to do at my ice cream shop when we made homemade strawberry ice cream. When you have your fresh local strawberries and they're deep red and juicy, take a decent amount of those strawberries and actually squish them. That is called juicing your strawberries. You want the strawberry juice to pour into your churning ice cream to make strawberry flavored ice cream. That's what's going to turn your ice cream that beautiful pink color. And then you want to have your reserved chopped strawberries to kind of crumble in there as it's churning and then layer throughout. If you don't juice your strawberries, you're going to end up with a white vanilla ice cream with chunks of strawberry. See the difference there? One of our most popular flavors at my ice cream shop was called Peachy Keen. It was peaches and caramel and graham crackers. Oh, it is such an unexpected flavor and everybody loved it. So when you're churning your ice cream, drizzle in just a little bit of high quality caramel, and at the end put in some chopped peaches and crumbled graham crackers, and then again layer those ingredients just one time when you're putting it in your tub. So delicious. Making Oreo ice cream is pretty self-explanatory. I think you got that one. That's always a classic. Then you can always take your favorite cookie, candy, or candy bar and crumble it up into the ice cream while it's churning. And like I said, the possibilities are endless. So I will put the links to the KitchenAid ice cream maker attachment along with my favorite ice cream tub and ice cream scoop in the description box below this video so you can get them for yourself. So happy ice cream, y'all. See you later.